make every day count. BYJU'S Exam Prep, CLAT and Law brings to you back-to-back interactive lectures for your last-minute preparation. Last lap to CLAT 2023. Marathon sessions based on actual paper pattern. 7 days Maha revision sessions for CLAT and IELTS. Paper solving tips. Every day at 11 a.m., 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. only on our YouTube channel. Do not forget to join us for detailed exam analysis and paper solution for IELTS 2023 on 11th December and for CLAT 2023 on 18th December. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon to never miss an update.
Hello everyone and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep, the most comprehensive preparation app for all exams. So as we all know that daily from Sunday to Thursday at 11 a.m. in the morning, we come up with the Hindu analysis. So today is Tuesday 29th November and we are here with the Hindu analysis. आज 29 नवंबर Tuesday है और आज हम लोग आपको the Hindu analysis आज की लेकर के हाजिर हैं. So some important articles on the first page which we are going to discuss today is anguish over NJAC order behind posting delays, says Supreme Court. So this is an important article and you must be reading this article. You should be reading it. NJAC से related एक article है. मतलब actually it's related with appointment of judges of Supreme Court and High Court. So that is related with this. Then government asked Supreme Court to reconsider 20 names for High Court judges. This is also an article linked with the same article and this is also you must be knowing it. तो इसको भी हम लोगों को पढ़ना है. Now then here is an article, VK Mohans Quatra to remain as the Foreign Secretary of India till April 2024. अप्रैल 2024 तक VK Mohans Quatra जो है वो इंडिया के फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी रहेंगे. Okay. Now this one is actually a local incident. An incident happened in a city, so we are not discussing, but you can go and read your own. आप अपने से पढ़ लेना ये वाला, ठीक है? Okay. Now let's talk about this anguish over NJAC order behind posting delays, says Supreme Court. So basically, it says the sub-headline says Supreme Court had struck down National Judicial Appointment Commission (NJAC), which gave government an equal say in judicial appointment in constitutional courts in 2015. So when NJAC was passed actually by the Parliament, it actually also gave even the government had a say in appointment of judges. I hope you are aware. Right now we are having a collegium system in which judges appoint judges, है ना? ऐसे ही होता है ना, judges appoint judges. तो judge जो है judge को appoint करते हैं, right? है ना? I hope you are aware of this. But there was a law which was passed by Parliament, I would say a constitutional amendment which was done, and that's called as NJAC, National Judicial Appointment Commission. But it was struck down by Supreme Court. Why? Because of violation of independence of judiciary. So Supreme Court said that it is against the idea of independence of judiciary, and that is why Supreme Court struck down on 16th October 2015. So 16 अक्टूबर 2015 को Supreme Court ने इसको invalidate कर दिया था. So NJAC was supposed to replace collegium, but NJAC was itself struck down by Supreme Court. Why? Because in NJAC there were actually members. So this is a committee which was supposed to actually appoint judges, and in that there were people from government also. So, or you can say from executive domain. And we have to have a complete separation of, I would say an independence of judiciary. So executive or government should not influence judiciary, right? This is the most important aspect in a democracy, that there should not be influence and judiciary should be completely independent. तो ये कहा जाता है कि judiciary को पूरी तरह independent रहना चाहिए, जबकि NJAC में government के भी members कुछ थे और because of which the Supreme Court invalidated it. ठीक है, ये लिखा हुआ है. Now, since I'm talking about NJAC, first you answer this question that I will be explaining in detail. Which of the following constitutional amendment is related to National Judicial Appointment Commission (NJAC), which was struck down by Supreme Court in 2015? 97th Amendment, 99th Amendment, 101st Amendment, 100th Amendment. इनमें से कौन सा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट, संविधान संशोधन जो है वो NJAC को बनाया था? It was actually NJAC was made after this amendment, which was later on struck down by Supreme Court. Yes, very good. Oh, I am surprised to see many of you are right. Vinayak, Ashi, Alethia, Ashi, Shama, Harshita, Preeti, Anushka, Kajal, Kasak, Abhishek, you all are right. Yes, its 99th constitutional amendment actually gave what we call it as NJAC. So it was supposed to replace collegium. It was passed by parliament and half of a state legislature and all, but it was struck down. It itself was struck down by Supreme Court. Why? Because of violation of independence of judiciary, concept of violation of independence of judiciary. So 4:1 actually, Supreme Court struck it down. आप देख सकते हो, this is the next day article of the Hindu. On 17th October, Supreme Court bench strikes down NJAC Act as unconstitutional and void. Collegium system to remain operative. I hope you are aware collegium system is derived from second judge's case and third judge's case. ये आपको पता होगा, है ना? ये तो आपको पता है ना? So the root of collegium system is not in the constitution, rather in second judge's case and third judge's case. So go and read about second judge's case and third judge's case also. So it said in the same article, because it was struck down on the 4:1 majority. So only one judge dissented, rather four actually struck down the NJAC. Declaring that judiciary cannot risk being caught in a web of indebtedness towards government. The Supreme Court Friday rejected the NJAC or 99th constitutional amendment, which sought to give politicians and civil society a final say in appointment of judges. So इसमें politicians का भी role होता, कुछ civil society members भी थे. So that is why it was struck down, because of violation of the idea of independence of judiciary. Okay, so just have an idea about it. Now, why it is in news? Actually, recently what happened was, actually the Supreme Court Monday linked the bitter failure of NJAC to the government's willingness to cross some Rubicons and take on the judiciary by delaying collegium recommendation. So basically, Supreme Court was angry that the government is trying to come and interfere in the appointment. So in that way, Supreme Court was not happy actually. कि government क्यों उतना ज़्यादा मतलब intervene करी. If collegium is recommending, then the government should accept it. Okay, it should not hold the appointments. So this actually was actually Supreme Court actually revived the idea of NJAC, means when it was talking about it. So it actually recalled the NJAC concept where government was also there, or the idea of government members or people from government should be there in appointment and all. तो वही बात फिर से actually दोहराई गई. So Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaur and A.S. Oka was there. And why actually recently the law minister has done some comment on the collegium system. So collegium system alien to constitution, says Kiran Rijiju, law minister. So recently law minister has said something, and because of which actually you can say the Supreme Court was not happy. So this bench of Supreme Court was not happy. वो नाराज थे इसलिए कि because Kiran Rijiju gave some strong actually criticism of collegium system and all. ठीक है, इसको आपने देखा होगा 3-4-5 दिन पहले न्यूज में था. I hope you are aware of that. So that is why it was coming in the news. So इसको आप just have an idea about it. Everyone please press the like button. We are seeing 18 likes, 20 likes, 50 is watching. सबको like button press कर दो. Now another is government asks Supreme Court to reconsider 20 names for High Court judges. I hope you are aware the collegium system actually recommends name to the government, and then government can finally gives it to the president. ऐसे ही होता है ना, law ministry you can say, है ना. Now but for one time the government, the law ministry can send back also the name. एक बार के लिए वो नाम वापस भेज सकते हैं, ठीक है. So just have an idea about this. Okay. So this actually the 20 name actually has been recommended by Supreme Court Collegium for appointment to High Court judges, and this was actually sent back by government to the Supreme Court to reconsider. आप दोबारा देखिए इसको. Why there are 19 judges and one actually is very famous actually. His name is Mr. Saurabh Kripal. Why he has become famous? He is actually the former son of former Chief Justice of India, Justice B.N. Kripal. So Justice B.N. Kripal के बेटे हैं, इनका नाम है सौरभ कृपाल. So out of those 20, one of them is Mr. Saurabh Kripal, and he was supposed to be appointed as a High Court judge in Delhi, but the government has actually sent back his name also, and he is a gay lawyer actually. And in fact, while fighting the case of homosexuality, he was actually very much instrumental. He was one of the lawyers in fighting this case. Okay, so when homosexuality was decriminalized by Supreme Court, one of the lawyer who was fighting for homosexuality was this actually Mr. Saurabh Kripal. Okay, and that is why his name came actually became very famous, and he is a Chief Justice of India's son, former Chief Justice of India's son, and that is why it becomes even more important. Okay, so just have an idea about him. Okay, yes. Collegium system, Sayyid Wali, I hope you are aware, the collegium is, let's say for appointment of Supreme Court judges, 5 senior most judge of Supreme Court recommends the name, and that's called collegium system. Please read second judge's case and third judge's case. Okay, so you will get to know about how collegium works, and for High Court appointment there are three member collegium. Okay, so isko aap padhoge. So if you are in our paid classes, you will be explained in detail. Otherwise, please go and read second judge's case and third judge's case. मैंने आपको बता दिए, दोनों पढ़ लेना. You will get to know what is collegium. Okay? Yes. Then on first page there was an article, Foreign Secretary VK Mohans Quatra's tenure extended till 30th April 2024. Okay? So he is the Foreign Secretary of India, an IFS officer. He was supposed to retire on 31st December this year. इस साल 31 दिसंबर को रिटायर होने वाले थे, लेकिन 2 साल के लिए टेन्योर एक्सटेंड कर दिया गया है. So his tenure has been almost extended for 1.5 year, you can say. 1.5 साल के लिए extend कर दिया गया. Okay, so just have an idea about it. Now, before moving on, there's a question for you. Ambedkar Jayanti is on which date? 29th November, 26th November, 14th January, 14th April. ये question आपके सामने. I'm waiting for your answers. Everyone, please press the like button. We are seeing 24 likes, 51 is watching. सबको like button press कर दो. Everyone, फटाफट. अंबेडकर जयंती कब मनाया जाता है? And why I'm asking this question? Can anyone tell me? Good. Ashish Sharma is right. Hari Om Awadh, Aditi Singh, Kasak, Riya, Devadita, Vinayak, Ananshi, all right. It's 14th April is the right answer. Yes. Actually, first page mein, second half mein, you must have seen this statue's photo. है ना? So ये नीचे का photo है जूते का, है ना? So work in progress, a 125th fit bronze and steel statue of Bhimrao Ambedkar in Hyderabad on Monday. The statue on museum is on 11 acres sector and all near Hussain Sagar Lake, and it will be actually inaugurated on the birthday of the architect of Constitution. So he is also called as architect or chief architect of Indian Constitution. Yes. So that is what it is talking about. Ki on 14th April actually next year this statue will be unveiled. So 14 April को अगले साल ये statue को open कर दिया जाएगा. Is it clear? Yes. So just have an idea about it. And first page mein there was an article. So guys, very sorry to say, but yes, these types of articles are coming, which is not very good. Similar to Shraddha Walker incident, woman's son held for killing stepfather, chopping body, and also these types of incidents actually are happening and are being highlighted. So these types of incidents are not very good. Very sad to say, but yes, just go and read it. Isko thoda pad lena. I mean, maybe in from legal section they might be important. Okay, before moving on, the guys, there's a small announcement, and that is those who are preparing for CLAT and ALET this year, they can go for this test series, 45 plus mocks, 20 CLAT, 25 non-CLAT mock test, 9,000 plus practice question, test series curated by NLU alumni would be there. And one more thing, we are running a last lap to CLAT 2023 series. Today is 29th November, right? And today I will be coming, okay, with current affairs for September. So I will be there. So this is the series today at 9 PM on the same YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel. Channel ko subscribe kar do. So at 9 PM, and please press the bell icon also, so that whenever we'll be coming up with this session, you will get the video. Okay, last lap to CLAT September BYJU'S. This is the class at 9 PM. आज 9 बजे होगी. ठीक है, just have an idea. Okay, now let's talk about editorials. So these are the 4 editorials. तो पहले हम लोग top 2 जानते हैं, है ना? Still a nightmare for domestic violence survivor, और ये है same rights. Okay, so let's talk. This is talking about LGBT, and this is talking about domestic violence. So still a nightmare for domestic violence survivor. So this is an article we will be discussing, but before that there is a question for you. उससे पहले एक आपसे सवाल है, आप इसको आंसर करो. International Day for Elimination of All Forms of Violence Against Women is on 21st November, 25th November, 29th November, 1st December. Actually, this line was mentioned in the first line of the editorial. So उस editorial जो edit page article है, that edit page article talking about domestic violence, in that the first passage actually talks about this. तो अगर आपने पढ़ा हो तो आप आंसर कर लोगे. Let me see. Everyone please press the like button. सबको like button press कर दो. Subscribe to our channel. Yes, good. B is the right answer. 25th November. Yes, Debadita, Aman, Alepia, Kasak, Pahuja, Anushka, Srashti, Aditi. I cannot take everyone's name, but you all are right. जिन्होंने भी B answer किया. So International Day for Elimination of All Forms of Violence Against Women is 25 November. Yes, 25th November. You can see. So basically, the author is talking about that just a few days ahead of this November 25, we have witnessed some brutal murder and mutilation of a young woman by her partner has drawn attention to intimate partner violence recognized under this. देखो, so there is a law in India, PWDVA. So we call it as Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. ठीक है, so maybe written in short, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. Okay, also called as Domestic Violence Act, short में भी कहते हैं. So ये actually it is not very much successful कह सकते हो. हालांकि there is a law, but still the author is highlighting that in many cases, even if there is a law, still the implementation might not be that much successful. So the author has given a lot of examples and all. कई जगह एग्जाम्पल से बताया कि क्यों ये इतना सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पाता है. Why did she, देखो अब इससे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन उठ रहे हैं कि when she was killed, why did she choose him, why did she not leave, अगर वो परेशान कर रहा था तो 2-3 साल से तो क्यों नहीं छोड़ा, पहले ही छोड़ देना चाहिए. These are the questions being raised. That is what the author is writing. That if the boy or a husband or anyone else, in general case, if a husband is harassing a wife a lot, then why does wife does not leave, or why does wife does not ask for divorce and all. As evidence for her self-help seeking efforts surface, we should also be asking why were these not effective. अगर कोई मतलब reconciliation का effort हुआ तो उस effective क्यों नहीं था. Now, author says domestic violence is a punishable offense under Indian law. It is a violation of human rights. And National Family Health Service says that we live in a society where violence against women persists to such an extent that 32% of ever women aged between 18 to 49 have ever experienced emotional, physical or sexual violence committed by their husband, with more rural than urban violence reported. देखो अब ये National Family Health Survey के हिसाब से, according to the National Family Health Survey, almost 32% of the married female between 18 to 49 years of age have witnessed any sort of domestic violence from her husband. तो अपने पति से लगभग 32% महिला जो कि मैरिड हैं 18 से 49 के बीच में, उन्होंने किसी न किसी फॉर्म का डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस झेला है लाइफ में. ओके, एंड मोर इन रूरल एरियाज रादर इन अर्बन एरियाज. और गांव के एरिया में ज्यादा देखा गया है एज कंपेयर टू अर्बन एरियाज. ऑल्दो अर्बन एरियाज में भी होता है. हाँ, so then it says over 17 years PWDVA, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, है ना. A progressive legislation was passed promising a joined up approach involving civil and communal protection to support and protect women, not just from husband, but despite a law existing, women are still unable to access the law. तो ये बताया जा रहा है कि even if we have a PWDVA, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, at the ground level it is not successful. हालांकि कानून होने के बावजूद भी पूरी तरह इंप्लीमेंटेशन सक्सेसफुल नहीं है. The most disheartening reality is despite almost a third women being subject to domestic violence, and National Family Health Survey reports that only 14% of women have experienced domestic violence have sought help, and this is much lower in rural areas. So National Family Health Survey ये कहता है, recent one, the 5th one says कि out of let's say 100 women have witnessed domestic violence, only 14 have sought help. मतलब जैसे अगर 100 महिला पर अटैक हुआ हस्बैंड के द्वारा, तो सिर्फ 14 महिला ऐसी जो पुलिस के पास जाती है या रिलेटिव के पास जाती है मदद मांगने के लिए. सो एंड इवन इन रूरल एरियाज इट इज इवन लेसर. तो रूरल एरियाज में तो और कम जाती हैं हेल्प मांगने के लिए किसी और से. ओके, सो द ऑथर इज डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द रिसर्च ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, वेस्ट बंगाल एंड तमिलनाडु. So these are actually aims to better understand help seeking and everyday. So the author is saying in these states actually it is slightly better, है ना, you can say. Now एक और question है, why didn't you leave earlier? Why didn't you tell someone about the violence earlier? Can have that most obligated and contradictory response. जैसे कई बार क्या होता है, बहुत सारी महिला जो है उसकी हस्बैंड जो है बहुत दिन से उसको परेशान करें 5 साल 7 साल से, but still she has not left or she has not asked for divorce and all. And she still actually has not revealed to any other relative. कई बार क्या होता है कि हस्बैंड उसको मार रही है, परेशान कर रहे हैं कई सालों से, तो भी उसकी वाइफ जो है वो बताती नहीं है. क्यों? So there are many reasons. One of them actually says that the girl believes or the female believes that if I tell, then first is maybe the tension will increase. Okay, it may bring shame or dishonor in the society. अगर हम बता देंगे ये बात तो बदनामी हो जाएगी पूरे समाज में. So that is why sometimes the women do not share, even do not go to the police. And even it is said कि many times क्या होता है कि देखो इन्होंने लिखा भी है कि even in some cases even the police also says कि go and solve your cases by your own. अपने इस जगह सॉल्व कर लो, इसको हम लोग क्या रजिस्टर करें केस and all that also happens. I will show you. इसमें लिखा होगा आर्टिकल में, है ना. When it comes to help seeking, we found two main groups of women: those who shared experience of violence within 6 months and those who share after 5 years or more. The first group of women mainly turned to their parents, who in a majority of cases insisted on daughters preserving the family environment. तो ये बता रहे हैं कि दो केसेस एक बता रहे हैं, तो उसमें इतना डिटेल नहीं जाना, बस ये बता रहे हैं कि अगर 0 से 6 मंथ्स के अंदर कोई वायलेंस हुआ है, अगर वो जाते भी हैं गर्ल, इफ ए गर्ल गोज टू द पेरेंट्स से कि देखो अपने में प्लीज डू नॉट रिवील इट टू द पब्लिक एंड ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट विद इन योरसेल्फ. तो इसको बाहर मत लाओ डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस के मामला, इसलिए कि बदनामी हो जाएगी. इन अ माइनॉरिटी ऑफ केस द डॉटर्स वेलफेयर हैज बीन प्रायोरिटाइज्ड. लेकिन कुछ ऐसा केसेस होता है जिसमें फैमिली अंडरस्टैंड कि नो, इफ द हस्बैंड इज बीटिंग he should be jailed or he should be brought to book. Okay, so we need to go to the court or we need to have some I can say some sort of mediation, किसी को बुला के बातचीत कराओ, है ना. So that is what it is. लेकिन वो बहुत कम केस में होता है. And it says for the majority of those interviewed, the police were part of the problem rather than solution itself. तो उन लोगों ने, जो ऑथर ने लिखा है कि जितने लोग हमने इंटरव्यू किया है, so police in itself does not solve the problem according to the author. कि जो क्यों? Because police actually says more likely to send back women to violent household to reconcile with perpetrator or use violence against perpetrator as a deterrent instead of filing an official complaint. So police ये कहती है कि अच्छा अगर आपकी वाइफ, आपको हस्बैंड ने मारा है तो आप जाओ जाकर के बातचीत कर लो, अपने दोस्त रिश्तेदार को बुलाओ, why are you registering a case and all. तो मतलब ये कह रहे हैं कि इवन पुलिस भी कई बार हेल्पफुल नहीं होती है according to the author. So what the author is saying in many cases even the police is not helpful for the woman. हाँ, तो देखो यही इशू है कि इवन इफ वी हैव प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ वुमेन फ्रॉम डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट, स्टिल इट इज नॉट सक्सेसफुल. सबसे पहला रीजन क्या हाईलाइट किया कि वुमेन डू नॉट रिवील, अपने घर में रखी थी, घर में माँ बाप को भी नहीं बताती है कि हस्बैंड इज बीटिंग और समथिंग लाइक दिस. इवन इफ वुमेन रिवील, अगर वुमेन ने रिवील भी कर दिया पेरेंट्स को, पेरेंट्स से कि यू डू गो एंड टॉक विथ योर हस्बैंड एंड ट्राई टू एडजस्ट करके रहो. Even if she goes to the police, in some cases even police do not say, listen. Actually, police says कि चलो अपने घर में रिश्तेदार से बातचीत करके मामला हल कर लो. Even that also happens sometimes. ठीक है. So that is what is being talked about. कि still the author is saying कि even if we have domestic violence act, still it is not very much successful. That is what the article says. अब इतना समझ लो शॉर्ट में. हाँ. Yes. Should we make notes? देखो छोटा सा शॉर्ट नोट्स बना लें, जैसे अभी मैंने 3-4 लाइनें बताई ना कि इस आर्टिकल में क्या क्या कहा गया है, प्रिवेंशन ऑफ डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट. सो दिस जस्ट मेक 2-3-4 लाइंस नोट्स, है ना. बस आपको कॉन्सेप्ट समझना है. यस गाइस, वी आर सीइंग 28 लाइक्स, 62 इज वाचिंग. सबको लाइक बटन प्रेस कर दो एवरीवन. नाउ हियर इज एन आर्टिकल टॉकिंग अबाउट as relationship changes, rights on freedom of liberties must expand. I hope you are aware. Recently, two men actually filed a case in a petition in Supreme Court to recognize their same-sex marriage under a special marriage act. यानी वो दोनों गए, वो ये कहें कि हम लोग के मैरिज को रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाए कि वी आर मैरिड टू मेल्स, है ना, अंडर स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट. सो द ऑथर इज सेइंग कि ऑफ कोर्स द petition has been filed before Chief Justice of India's bench, and the petition cites Special Marriage Act 1954, which provides a civil marriage for couple who cannot marry under their personal law. ठीक है. So Special Marriage Act कैसे फर्क होता है? देखो, generally whenever people marry as per their own religious custom, they marry according to these laws, है ना. So if a Muslim marries, done a nikah, so under the Muslim Personal Law Shariat Application Act. Hindu Marriage Act is done under this. Christian marriage is done under this. Sikh marriage is done under this. तो ये जनरली रिलीजियस मैरिजेस होता है, इफ इट इज डन थ्रू अ रिलीजियस प्रोसीजर. बट देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट. आई होप यू आर अवेयर. सो इफ इंटर रिलीजन, इंटर कास्ट मैरिज हैपेंस, तो फिर स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट में बहुत बार लोग रजिस्टर करते हैं मैरिजेस. नाउ इन दीज मैरिजेस, in religion generally homosexuality is not actually recommended. Rather in many religion it has been criticized heavily. बहुत सारे मजहब में होमोसेक्सुअलिटी को ऑलमोस्ट सारे रिलीजन में आप कह सकते हो अलाउ नहीं किया गया है. दे हैव नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज होमोसेक्सुअलिटी और होमोसेक्सुअल मैरिजेस इनफैक्ट मेनी रिलीजन स्ट्रांगली कंडेम्स इट। तो रिलीजन के लॉज के अंडर तो इसको रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं किया सकता, राइट? So that is why they have filed a petition that under Special Marriage Act 1954, their marriage should be recognized. Is it clear? So that is what it says. Then they have actually there are a lot of cases. Puttaswamy case, right to privacy, which also has link with this. Then Navteej Singh Chauhar case actually decriminalize homosexuality. Supreme Court decriminalize it. So ये दोनों case actually, these two cases are actually the supportive of this. Okay, this thing. तो इसी को ऑथर्स ने हाईलाइट किया एक्चुअली। ओके, सो जस्ट हैव एन आइडिया अबाउट इट, है ना? लिखा हुआ ना कि अंडर स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट एंड नॉट सेवरल अदर पर्सनल लॉ सच एज हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट एंड ऑल। सो अगर कोई दो हिंदू भी, इवन इफ बोथ आर हिंदूज, दे कैन नॉट मैरी, इफ बोथ आर मेल्स दे कैन नॉट मैरी अंडर हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे हैव टू ऑप्ट फॉर दिस, है ना? ये लिखा हुआ इसमें। इफ एक्चुअली सो बिकॉज इन रिलीजन जनरली इट इज नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड। ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाट इट सेज। Even eventually, though, even if the courts rule in favor, the march towards equality for LGBTQ will be long and arduous. So basically, the Hindu editors are actually supporting the idea of homosexuality in this, and they are saying even if it is recognized by Supreme Court, maybe the community or the society may not accept it fully. So editors के हिसाब से कि अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अलाउ भी कर दिया तो शायद पूरी तरह समाज आसानी से उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करे। That is what it says. Okay, yes. So please go and read about Special Marriage Act. It's a homework आप पढ़ना कि it can be registered irrelevant of the faith or religion of the party, है ना? उसको पढ़ना आप। Okay, है ना? So this is actually what it is. इसको पढ़ लेना, just I have explained what exactly it is. Now let's talk about these two. एक loss and damage decision, pitfalls and promises. I have told you that loss and damage fund has been promised under COP27. which happened in Egypt, Sharm el-Sheikh. मैंने बताया था? Yes. Okay, so that is what it is talking about. A major takeaway from COP27 is loss and damage fund that needs to be created. But the question is, the committee has been set up. The committee will aim to identify and expand sources of funding, which demonstrates a lack of clarity on the source of funding and all. But still you can say it is not very much clear. मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था कि loss and damage fund, who should be funding? ये सब भी क्लियर नहीं किया गया। ओके, इज इट क्लियर? मींस कि लॉस एंड डैमेज फंड हैज बीन, द प्रपोजल ऑफ लॉस एंड डैमेज फंड हैज बीन मेड दैट दिस फंड वुड बी हेल्पफुल इन helping those who are actually vulnerable to climate change, specifically the island states, है ना, or island countries. But who will be contributing to the fund and how are the beneficiaries? Explicitly we have not discussed yet. तो अभी तक clear cut बात नहीं हुई है. And the author is saying कि before that even developed countries had earlier promised कि they will be collecting $100 billion per year by 2020, but they have not done it properly. तो लोगों ने कहा था ना कि $100 बिलियन तक 2020 तक हर साल के हिसाब से $100 बिलियन हम लोग कलेक्ट कर लेंगे, वो भी अभी पूरी तरह नहीं हुआ है. तो हाउ कैन वी बिलीव कि लॉस एंड डैमेज फंड वुड बी सक्सेसफुल? इज इट क्लियर? Then it says restricting the global average temperature rise to below 1.5 degrees Celsius is essential to limiting the future loss and damage. Yes, this is what the target of Paris Climate Agreement is, है ना? Paris Climate Agreement का target यही है. Yes, I hope you are aware of this. Yes, that is what the author is even also repeating it. Okay. Now the entire climate change negotiation, the developed countries have consistently opposed being made liable for climate change. Yes, अब ये समझना जरूरी है. Now developed countries and developing countries, so if you are aware of this, so developed countries in the history have caused more pollution. अगर आप हिस्ट्री भी उठा के देखोगे तो developed country ने बहुत ज्यादा pollution कर रखा है, and that is why developing nation says that it is developed country who are more responsible for climate change than developing country. तो डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज का ये कहना है कि जो ऑलरेडी डेवलप कर चुकी कंट्री, उन लोगों का क्लाइमेट चेंज में ज्यादा रोल है, उन लोगों, चूंकि उन लोगों ने पास्ट में बहुत पोल्यूशन किया है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई द कॉन्सेप्ट कम्स CBDR, कॉमन बट डिफरेंशिएटेड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, है ना. इट मींस एवरीवन हैज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू फाइट क्लाइमेट चेंज, बट डेवलप्ड कंट्री हैज मोर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. इसी का मतलब था CBDR, कॉमन बट डिफरेंशिएटेड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. मींस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज कॉमन विद एवरीवन, but differentiated means the developed country has to play a bigger role in fighting climate change as compared to developing nations. ठीक है, तो जो developed country है उस पर ज्यादा ही फर्ज बनता है कि वो क्लाइमेट चेंज को फाइट करे रादर की डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज पर, राइट? Then at the last he's talking about global shield scheme against climate risk is a part of COP27. The shield is aimed at increasing pre-arranged finance to be disbursed before or just after disaster happened. So ये जो है ग्लोबल शील्ड स्कीम, इसके अंदर ये होगा कि पहले से पैसा कलेक्टेड हो, the moment any disaster happened, just before or just after the incident, this fund should be used. ठीक है, so this is actually a part of COP27, so please read it in detail. इसको थोड़ा सा पढ़िएगा जा करके. This is a homework, please go and read it. हाँ, ग्लोबल शील्ड स्कीम क्या है, ठीक है, because it was discussed in COP27. अब देखो साइड में नीचे एक आर्टिकल थी, चाइना मस्ट कंप्लीट फुल वैक्सीनेशन एंड एंड जीरो कोविड पॉलिसी. आई होप यू आर अवेयर. This is yesterday's 28th November The Hindu analysis. In this we have discussed, कल के The Hindu analysis में हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था that actually कि protests were happening in China, ना, protest in China because of they were actually protesting anti-lockdown protest था ना, so they were protesting that lockdown should not happen and there were reasons I have explained in this class. तो हम लोगों ने इस क्लास में डिस्कस किया है कि इस कारण से वो प्रोटेस्ट वगैरह हो रहा था. Okay, so please go and watch it. So the author is actually, the editorial is about this कि the Chinese government should reduce or should ease the lockdown. Lockdown को आसान करें, ढीला दे थोड़ा, and they should not stick to zero COVID policy and all. Okay. So that is what it is. The lockdown, mass testing and quarantining of infected cases and close contacts formed a strategy that helped China emerge fast than any other country and all. तो ये पूरा डिटेल बता रहे हैं इसमें, just go and read about it, है ना? The Chinese leadership has defended zero COVID and all. Yes, इसको आप पढ़िएगा जा करके. So author is saying कि nowadays we are having vaccines, तो vaccine भी दिया गया. And nowadays COVID is not that much deadly. COVID फैल तो रहा है, even जैसे जनवरी में इंडिया में भी आया था, लेकिन इतना deadly नहीं है अब. Now it is not causing so much deaths. So imposing harsher lockdown is not a good idea according to the author. तो author के हिसाब से बहुत अच्छा idea नहीं है कि harsh lockdown लगा दिया जाए and all. Okay? Yes. Okay. Now this is actually on 4th December on the same YouTube channel from 11 AM to 6 PM. सुबह 11 बजे से शाम 6 बजे तक we'll be having a non-stop 7 hours marathon on all subjects would be covered. So these are the faculties. Please subscribe to our channel and you will get this notification. एक और है, we are running an ALET 2023 crash course revision series on our YouTube channel. So today is 29th है ना. So today at 7 PM we'll be having Krishnandu Datta sir. Then other faculties would be there. They will be taking classes of ALET revision. Okay? Yes. Now कुछ और चीज जान लेते हैं. Let's talk about this. India France discuss defense industrial ties make in India. इसको आप पढ़ लेना बस. इसमें कुछ ऐसा कुछ है नहीं डिटेल एक्सप्लेन करने का. बस just go through it and read it. एक बार इसको पढ़ करके रीड कर लेना. ठीक है. So what is this IONS? इसको पढ़ना. Indian Ocean Naval Symposium. ये क्या होता है? ठीक है. Indian Ocean Commission. इसको थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेना. Just go through it. Okay. Yes. Then center plans to document culture, social practices of indigenous tribal society. Here is the president of India. Even she is also from tribal community. First tribal president of India. So that is why you should be knowing it. A National Commission for Scheduled Tribe along with Union government is now pushing for redocumentation of their cultures. So National Commission for Scheduled Tribe जो है इसके लिए अहम रोल अदा करेगी. जो ओल्ड कल्चर्स है, सोशल प्रैक्टिसेस, उसको डॉक्यूमेंट करने में. डॉक्यूमेंट मींस इट शुड बी मेड आइदर डिजिटली, देयर शुड बी अ रिकॉर्ड, और इट शुड बी मेड ऑन बुक्स एंड कॉपीज, है ना, डॉक्यूमेंट में रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए. Okay, now the question is which of the following articles of Constitution talks about National Commission for Scheduled Tribes? Article 341, 338 capital A, 269, 331. What is the right answer to this question? हम लोग नेशनल कमीशन फॉर शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब की बात कर रहे हैं. इट इज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी. ये पूछ सकता है एग्जाम में, वेदर इट्स अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी, स्टैचुटरी बॉडी, है ना, इस तरह क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. सो इट्स अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी एंड what is the right answer? Yes, it is actually under article 338 capital A. Hariom, Awadh, Alifia, Nancy, Krishna, Kajal, Preeti, Shubham, Aditi, Devadrita, Anushka, Vinayak, Shubham, Gunjan, you are right. 338 capital A actually talks about this. Okay, so similarly go and find out which article talks about National Commission for Scheduled Caste and National Commission for Backward Class. इस दोनों को आप जा करके पढ़िए. ओके, यस. Now, एक और आर्टिकल है, श्रीहरिकोटा gets India's first private space launch pad. So there's a question for you related with the same article. Read it carefully and then answer it. इसी तरह क्वेश्चन आता है ना क्लैट में या सैंपल पेपर में. X, the Chennai headquarter space startup has launched India's first ever launch pad for a private launch vehicle at Sriharikota. है ना? What is X? ये बताना, ये क्या है? What is this? Your options are Garuda Aerospace, Agnikul, Skyroot Aerospace, none of the above. क्या सही जवाब है? Everyone please press the like button. We are seeing 36 likes, 65 is watching. सब कोई like button press कर दो. Good, very good. Juhi is right. Anushka Singh, Shubham Raj, Ashish Sharma. Yes. इस बार minorities are right, majorities are not correct. So majority are saying C, but here option B is right. It's Agnikul. तो ये छोटी सी आर्टिकल थी अंदर में, लेकिन ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. That is why I have discussed it here. ठीक है? So just have an idea about it. Okay? Yes, Agnikul. Yes, Riya Mama right. हाँ. Then world pick article थी, China government doubles down on zero COVID as anger grows. तो ये मैंने आपको बता दिया है. We have discussed yesterday कि The Hindu analysis में 28 November The Hindu analysis. Please go and watch it. We have discussed in detail about it. The protest against zero COVID policy, anti-lockdown protest and all, we have already discussed. So go and read about it. इसको पढ़िए जाके. So this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, and download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app. Okay. So thank you everyone. So there's a question for you. Since we were discussing about National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, एक question है. National Commission for Backward Class was earlier a non-constitutional, it was a statutory body, later on it became a constitutional body. ठीक है? So after the class is over, there is a homework. Write in the comment section, in the static comment, which constitutional amendment made NCBC a constitutional body. कौन सा संविधान संशोधन NCBC को constitutional body बना दिया? And which article was inserted? कौन सा आर्टिकल डाला गया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में इसके लिए. सो इट्स अ होमवर्क फॉर यू. ठीक है? सो थैंक यू एवरीवन. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग. हैव अ नाइस डे.